Dear Victoria Monique, hello and good day.
Hello. Nice to see you. Well, I can't see you now, but nice to be with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much that you're here in my YouTube channel and that we have the possibility to speak today. And I'm very happy that you share some of your time and your wisdom with our audience. And first, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Victoria Monique. I am actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to speak about all these normal things because I wanted to tell you my age. I want to tell you where I am at the moment. So, Victoria Monique, I'm in New Zealand, one of my dream places on planet Earth. I am on the third or fourth reinvention of myself because I believe in growing and evolving and expanding. And I do this actively myself. And so recently I sold my apartment in Amsterdam, apartment that I had owned for about 20 years. And so now I'm on this new journey in New Zealand.
Wonderful. Victoria, I would like short to tell our audience how I found you. I found your YouTube channel. I also shared on my Facebook page for my followers. I found your YouTube channel, and I was very impressed with the information you're sharing, but also most with your personal vibration, the way you putting the things out. You're um yeah, summarizing all the wisdom about programming the reality, about the frequencies, about how everything is connected. And then I contact you, and we had 12 weeks counseling sessions with you, and I'm very thankful for that. And I learned a lot from you. And we started with reshaping of the body, and I would like to suggest maybe you can tell us more about this, and then we can go to programming the reality.
Hmm. Yeah, so my new program, Body Beautiful, it was something that I had in my mind for a longer period of time. And I never really started it until pretty recently. And so Body Beautiful is for me about, it's actually kind of a Trojan horse, so to speak, because everything in reality is created in the same way, which is through our vibration and our frequency. It is the conversations we have with ourselves, and conversations are frequency. And so I love the hook with regards to the body because our body is the physical vessel through which energy moves and through which we actually also materialize things. So, my Body Beautiful program is a 12-week program where, if you'd like, you can get my guidance in transforming your physical body. And in the first place, it isn't about doing anything to the physical body. It is all mental. And this is how it works, and this is how it works with everything. And that's also how you came to me in the first place, right? Because you had an idea that you wanted to go into this program for some personal reasons. And the thing is with the body, it changes when we change. So it's not about exercising, eating different, all of these things. Yes, they have an effect, but they only have an effect when you come at it from the new state of being, from the new person who you are being. And this person that you will transform into with my guidance or with your own guidance, because anyone can do this. Like, this is not something that I made up, it's how the universe works. And so, if you become someone different, who thinks different, who vibrates different, you feel attracted to behave in a different way, to eat in a different way, to drink in a different way, to move in a different way. And so that is, in short, the Body Beautiful program. And everything that you learn in Body Beautiful is actually for your whole life because it's, as I said, it is how everything is created. Our bodies are created in the same way as our relationships, as our jobs, as our family relationships, so romantic or family. Everything is created in the same way. Even the clothes that you're wearing come from you, through the state of being that you are being.
Yeah, during this process, I can share that we did some calibrations techniques you
Mm-hmm.
showed me, and part of it was going deep into the consciousness and
Mm-hmm.
start receiving more awareness, how the body is feeling, where the consciousness of the body owner is, and which programs are active. And it was first very helpful. Second, it was uh, inspiringly easy. And you have this ability to let space to be there, and to watch the space, to watch the feelings of the body. And this is, I think, something that the most of the people don't do regularly, right? That they go into the awareness of the body, the awareness of the consciousness, and see how I'm actually feeling with the body, which programs, which mind beliefs, systems are there that maybe produce the shape of the body, or support it in the way it is.
Mm. Yeah, so the thing is, you can come at everything from different angles, but I go for lasting change. And if you want lasting change, you have to change the person that you are being. Dr. Joe Dispenza says your personality creates your personal reality. But just in the same way, your personality also creates your physical body. So when you go deeper into who am I being, who am I? What is this version of me? How does this version of me think? How do they act? You really have to take a bird's eye view because you need to get familiar with who you are being. And when you go there, you actually go into the code. You know, when you have a computer program or you have a computer, you go into the code to rewrite the script instead of just adding things to the script. Or, well, I'm not so familiar with computer programs, so maybe this is not the best analogy for me to use. But it's important to understand that you can come at it from different angles, and I like to come at it from the angle where lasting change will take place. And it can be sometimes a bit more frustrating, right? Because you want instant results and you want to see, hey, but I want to lose 5 kilos and I want to lose it now, for instance. Yes, it's possible, but it's only possible when you change who you are being. And you don't have to do anything necessarily. Like I think that's what we're pointing to, that people give you, this is a meal plan and this is an exercise plan. And yes, all of these things work. But then if you keep being the same person that you always were, then nothing will change and everything will come back to whatever it was before.
It's because also the cells of the body, they are also, so to speak, programmed or uploaded with the old program, right? So if the
Well,
consciousness program not change,
yes.
just the nutrition plan and the sport plan, the consciousness vibrate on the same level or the similar level
Yeah.
like before.
Yeah, yes, That's a way of looking at it. That's perfect. But you can also, like, if you go into the teachings of Bashar and Seth and Neville, for instance, who I adore and I really love their teachings, and I have learned so much from them and continue to do so. There is no linear time, everything is simultaneous. So the body consciousness, the cells of a particular body, that's one version. And you can actually, you could pretty quickly jump, quantum leap into a different version of you who has a different programmed cells and body. But usually, our beliefs don't let us make the quantum leap so quickly. So then you are stuck in first instance with the consciousness of the cells of the body that you believe to have. But it doesn't have to be that way. Like there can be a quick change. And yes, you are right. And there is an end to it. So it's not just what you were saying. It is more than that.
Speaking about that there is no linear time, speaking about that the frequency decides in which timeline we are vibrating in. Um, let's go into the topic of programming the reality. And you spoke about Neville Goddard, about Seth, and with both of them, I'm also reeling deep into their stuff and love the teachings. And I would like to ask you, can you summarize where is the way you look now at the reality, at the personal reality you're living now in, which kind of which kind of operation system you have now at this time of your timeline, looking at the reality is how you perceive the way the we program the reality. Can you give us a summary, a short summary of how you look at the things? I personally think that I know some um, of your insights, but it will be very interesting for the audience to get this
Mm,
summary from you.
yeah. So, how I look at reality is that everything is constantly shifting and changing. So, for me, it is a practice to always stay open to nothing is fixed, only if I want it to be. So, for instance, if you have a piece of paper and you have a pencil and you say, this is reality, and you draw a circle, actually, that reality has nothing to do with the next moment. But most of us, what we do is we think things are a certain way. And so this is reality, the same circle in the same way over the same circle as you drew before. And so this is kind of what most people do. And they're like, nothing is changing. How is that possible? Yes, because you are not changing yourself. So how I look at reality is that I have a blank canvas and I can, if it's full, I can erase it at any time and I can start to draw circles where I want. So what I love to do is continuously remind myself of the nature of reality. And I am every day, multiple times a day, I'm reminding myself of the framework that I believe in. Because just like everyone else, I'm in physical reality and I have people around me that not all think in the same way. So it is important that I keep myself focused and aligned with the reality that I prefer to live in, which is anything is possible at all times. I make an effort to always be mindful of my frequency, to always reflect everything back to myself. Life is not happening to me, it's happening through me and for me. And I'm at the basis of the creation. And so I'm not a victim, I'm a creator. And I'm continuously reminding myself of a couple of things that I just told you about as well, and about the fact that it's me at the center. And yeah, I exercise daily, as you know, because I love it. And my physical my physical vessel functions best because I believe that I'm an antenna. I believe we all are antennas for information. And my antenna, my physical body, my connection to source works best when I am fit and strong and healthy.
Thank you very much for this summary. May I ask you how practically you remind yourself of the frame you're believing in? How do you do it? Just practically.
So I start my day every day. I start my day with a meditation. So when I wake up, I instantly center myself because you can lay down and be asleep and kind of not hear, but when you wake up and you close your eyes and you sit down and you breathe into the body, that's a whole different experience. So that's already my first practice in the day, like becoming balanced and centered. Then I do a dance in the morning, every morning, on a particular song, which lifts my vibration. And then usually I journal a little and I have some things that I focus on. I have a vision for myself for the coming time because I like to keep everything also focused in a certain direction. And a sidestep why this is important in my opinion is if you don't focus where you're going, life is going to show you where you're going and you're going to be very reactive instead of being creative. So every day I remind myself what it is that I'm working towards. And so that is very practically what I do. And depending on how the day was, in the evening, I also go through the day and the successes that I had, I stand still with the successes and I applaud myself for what went well. Things that went in a way that I was like, could have been different. I either rewrite them or how do you say that? Or I set an intention for the next time that this particular situation will be handled differently. So it's kind of like an end of day evaluation. And during the day, I'm continuously reminding myself, like when there is an interaction that I, for instance, do not like so much, I don't go into blame or I go into curiosity. I'm like, what in me created this situation? Because everything, and this is not my quote, everything in our lives are like people and circumstances will reveal in our lives where we are not free. So it's not like, oh, this is randomly happening. No, it's happening for a reason, and it's happening to reveal me where I'm not free or where I am free because I have a lot of magic happening, and it's sometimes a bit that I'm like, what is going on? It's becoming more and more and more because my vibration gets higher and higher and higher. So it's not only where I'm not free, it's also a lot, wow. I created this because of this new lens, because of this new state of being, because of this new level of freedom that I have reached. And that is in a practical way how I remind myself of the nature of reality.
Um, do you have also evening rituals going before going to bed? Maybe short meditation or something you're doing, or journaling again?
No, as I said, like how I explained it was not completely chronological.
Ah, okay.
Um, but I said that I at the end of the day, I also go through the day and think about all the things that went really well. And then I give myself, like I'm say to myself, I'm so proud of you. Well done. You made the perfect choices. Because another thing that I would love to add in here with what which is really important, and we had a talk about this as well, S Different teachers call it different things. I was pretty much against it in first instance when I heard it, and also because Seth has a meaning about this, but this is years ago, and in the meantime, I also changed versions and evolved into a different version of me. And now I am very much on board with the unconscious or the subconscious, doesn't really matter how you want to call it, has to be made conscious, because if I don't know, if you don't know what you are thinking and feeling deep down underneath all of these layers, because behavior is often automatic, but behavior comes from something. It comes from a belief, it comes from a perspective. It's not random. Nothing is random. Everything is a part of the you that you are for yourself. So the next studies that you are now has a certain way of being, a certain way of behaving, a certain way of doing. Same with Victoria Monique that I am now, has a certain way of thinking, being, and doing. And it is super important to get familiar with that part, and especially the things that seem super logical, because there's always something underneath which is kind of ruling the show, so to speak. So it's about making the unconscious conscious. And if you fail to do that, then you have kind of other challenges on your hands. But that's the gist of how you become the most powerful creator in your own life experience.
Thank you very much, Victoria. Very inspiring. I There is something, it is so easily so logical, and I didn't had it in my program until we had our sessions, and it was exactly the thing you was speaking now about, reminding yourself. It is like many, I think many spiritual seekers, they are reading literature, they're looking, they're watching YouTube videos or spiritual teachers, they're doing from time to time meditations, but then they have the so-called all day life with all of the struggles there. And I think this is my feeling, that the most of the people don't remind themselves regularly about the frame, about what they have learned, how reality actually is constructed, how the things are working. And I have to say, I was the same, and maybe still today I'm not reminding myself enough, but I'm working on this. And I would like to accent now on this inspiring insight I had from you, just to establish a reminding program into the older life so that you can remind yourself again and again and again how reality actually works, that you remind yourself of the wisdom you have learned from all these teachers. And when you have these not maybe not so pleasant experiences or difficult times, that you go back into reminding yourself, that you don't go where the mind panic or have fears or this known program, but to remind yourself, okay, I'm the creator, I can rewrite the script. And like you said, if it is happening, I have created it. Let's explore why I have created it, or let's explore maybe what is my part of the co-creation of this, what is happening now. So this
Yes,
reminding
because
part is very
yeah.
central. I'm very thankful that you spoke now about it also.
Yeah, and it's also logical, because how will you learn tennis if you never practice? How will you learn anything if you never practice? And this is no different. If you would like to become the director, the script writer, you're also the actor, the producer, like everything, if you like to have full autonomy and sovereignty of your own life, you have to practice. You have to get in the work and you have to understand what it is that you're doing. And you need a focus because you're not going to get into your car either and say, I'm just going to drive and then probably I will get where I need to go just by getting in your car and driving without having directions. No, you know where you're going. And that's the same in life. A focus, a goal, reminding yourself, practicing, all of this is part of it. And you can, like, life has so many metaphors. And I love to use the sports metaphors often because I do a lot of different things in the gym. But for instance, handstands, the most difficult thing that I've ever have tried to do. And I'm still not there. Well, this version of me is not. And it's getting better and better and better very slowly. And it doesn't matter because it teaches me so much about the nature of reality and the nature of life and perseverance and just staying with it. And so, yeah, it's about practice. Everything is about practice. And this is how it is.
Yeah, practicing. This is the most important part, I think, because learning about the spiritual laws or the law of attraction, the teachings of Neville and Seth or Abraham, but then you have to put it into practice because many people, and I'm not the exception of it also, have very clear understood how actually reality creation works, but when it comes to practice, they are not practicing it. And I think this is also like with sports, like you said, you cannot expect to have a great results in holding your vibration if you're not practicing it again and again and again. So it's
Yeah.
also a learning process to again and again and again to uplift your vibration, to stay there, to observe how the vibrations, where the vibrations is moving. And also something I also speaking about in my channel is observing the thoughts you're thinking and ask yourself, are these thoughts actually where these thoughts are moving me, in which version of me these thoughts are moving me, how is the vibration structure of the thoughts, and do I like to support to energize these thoughts. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it is also like you said about the goal. Which goal do you have? Which vibration goal do you have? And also, practically, just also in the all day life, which other goals you have, because all of the goals they have the vibration. And
Can I say, I want to say one more thing, which is
of
really
course,
important, and especially in this whole law of attraction, conscious creation discussion. So, having bad feelings and feeling off and allowing them is actually really good. So, it's not about continuously having good feelings. That's not even possible. And that's not why we came here having this human experience. It is about allowing all of the feelings, not resisting them and not clinging to them, not judging them, not making them mean anything. Because all the feelings that you have, like, that is what makes you a superhuman, so to speak. You become superhuman by being superhuman. We came here to be all of it. We didn't come here to be love and light. No, that's not what the game is about. The game is about being everything that we came here to be. So that's very important to realize that all the feelings are valid. The question is, are you going to stay there and hang out there? No. You don't want to hang out there, but you also don't want to pretend that you don't feel sad or you don't feel jealous or you don't feel hateful or you don't feel spiteful because there's nothing wrong with any of your emotions. They are perfect. And don't hang out there if you don't want to create anything that will come from that vibration.
yeah, very central point. I think on this topic we can speak much more. There is something you told me during our counseling weeks, and I was very inspired from your wisdom on this topic, and it was basically on having compassion uh, with oneself, having compassion with
Hmm.
yourself where you are now, because it is sometimes frustrating. You want to be somewhere else, but you are not still there, and
Hmm.
this creates a struggle. This creates a stress. This creates an unhappy vibration. And you asked me in one of our sessions, okay, Nikolai, can you have compassion with yourself, with the place where you are right now? Can you have it? And I never thought about it like this. In Till now, I had compassion with other people. I had compassion with the pain of other people, with the complicity of their lives or situations, but I never had compassion with myself. And once
Hmm.
I went into compassion with myself, then these feelings of stress, of not happy, not being there where I want to be, start transforming just by allowing them to be, like you said, and have
Yeah.
compassion. And for me, this wisdom about having compassion with yourself when equally where you are, compassion is actually always good. It's sounds like Buddhist wisdom. It is also part of the Buddhist wisdom, but in the way you have put it, in having compassion with ourselves, it is a great tool. I'm not sure if I can explain it in the way you have explained it to me at that time, but can you maybe explain it to our audience? Can you speak about compassion with ourselves? Can you?
Yeah, so I have also no idea how I explained it to you at that time, but I can tell you what comes up now. So first of all, with regards to not wanting to be where you are, well, that's a catch 22 in and of itself because you cannot be anywhere different than you are. I am here. I can pretend that I want to be there, but I am here. So it is futile to want to be there when I am here because everything that you push against, not wanting to be here is pushing against, will create resistance, which will create a bigger distance from where I am and where I want to be. And that is very paradoxical, and it's not something that your mind can understand. It is something that your body can understand. Because as soon as you relax into the knowing that it's perfect where you are right now, then you're slowing down to speed up to get there. So that's the first thing that I want to say. With regards to compassion towards yourself, so we are all just reparenting ourselves. We are all still small children, teenagers, we are adults, we are grandpas and grandmas. Everything is existing right now because there is no linear time, there's only simultaneous time. The parts of us that have been hurt when we were younger, that have been told off by parents and by other people that knew better, and they did the best they could. There's no blame here. There's only experience. But we internalize these voices like, you're not good where you are. You should work harder. You should be this. You should be that. And you can actually know that it's the voice of someone that's not you, your true self, when it becomes a you should. And it doesn't really feel good in the body too when you hear these things. So, what we're actually doing with the compassion is we're taking that little child, that inner child that's actually just hurt or scared, because it's not necessarily about, I'm here and I want to be there. Because why do you want to be there? Because you think it's better. And why do you think it's better? Because you think, where I am here is not good. I should be there because everyone told me that by now I should, na na na. these are all ideas that are not yours. And so you think you're not good enough because you're not doing it good because you're here and you want to be there. So it's just like one big pile of horse dung. And you want to just have compassion for that part of you that feels that it's doing something wrong because it's here and not there. And also, it just wants love and attention. All that we want as humans always is love, acceptance, and attention and presence for what is going on here and now. We actually don't want anything else than that. So when you have compassion for that part of you that is actually scared, that thinks that it's not good enough because something is wrong, because you're not there yet, but you should be because of your age, because of your whatever it is, always just return back to, I'm here for you, I hold you, I see you, and I love you. And the amazing thing is, when you can do that for yourself, your relationship with others will also change because all of a sudden you have capacity for so much more love for them. Anyone that's listening that has a lot of turmoil in their relationships, when you start to focus on yourself and give that part of you compassion that is maybe annoyed with others or maybe is always in fights or whatever, as soon as you take that little boy or that little girl in your mind's eye and you just hold them and you tell them it's all gonna be okay and that you've got them and that you love them, which is compassion for yourself, then I can promise you your relationships with others will also change.
Amazingly good explained. Thank you very much, Victoria Monique. This is something I'm very yeah, I'm thinking of it again and again and again, what you just now explained it, and I think this is an amazing tool. It's a really amazing tool because we didn't get it from our parents. At least I didn't get it. You know, the self-compassion way of looking at things.
And you
In
know
you,
why? And you know why, Nikolai?
why?
Because none of them got it from their parents.
Exactly. And it is not part of the school system. Actually, nobody teaches you this. Okay, maybe
No.
if you go to psychotherapy or you have a good book from authors that they present to you this concept, but it's so essential because in the way I feeling it, the giving yourself self compassion, it's open a portal for self-awareness and self-love, but not like you said before, like this new age self-love, love yourself, these very easily said words, but just compassion and processing the feelings that are there. And in this way, you help also the system because you recognize what is the vibration of the system, and you have this good willing or good feeling of system, I would like to help you, or and you tell also your body, I have compassion with your struggle. I don't energize it. I don't say it's not there, but I just have compassion. It helps a lot the
Hmm.
system because we are actually searching in the all day life. We are searching compassion in a way from the other people, and it is then depending on their free will if they want to give it in which way or in which quality will give it to you. But I think the best quality we can get is when we get compassion from ourselves, right?
Yes, for sure. Like it's never with the others. We've been programmed to believe that reality happens and relationships happen with the other, but it's everything is coming from us. And not to say, because there's no blame or wrong. We just came here to play a game, the game of life, and everything that we've been taught is the other way around. So everything starts with ourselves. Compassion starts with ourselves, love starts with ourselves, relationships starts with us, everything starts with us. So when you try to get compassion outside of you, you're saying, I need you or I need that to feel better. And that's a losing game because nothing and no one can do that for you but you. So that's the paradox. It all starts with you, and you will get it from everyone as soon as you don't need it anymore.
Yeah, this is the paradox of of the whole story, right?
Yeah. It's
Victoria,
one big cosmic joke.
yeah. Yeah, it is trans surfing through reality through and I think transurfing through reality means also you cannot get better at it if you cannot uh, hold your vibration lovingly with compassion to yourselves. And I think this is a big key, not said very much in the spiritual literature I read. I at least I didn't saw compassion thoughts in Neville Goddard's work, but very. I think this is a big key to have the compassion as a tool, as an awareness mirror to look at yourself with compassion, so that your system, your cells knows there is always this person, this lovingly person that will have compassion with my conditions or with my vibrations equally where I am, and it relax also the system, and it's a way also of self-learning because you understand you're bigger than your current incarnation, your current body. You can give yourself compassion because you're bigger than the whole your life or the whole life situation or the whole yeah, the whole incarnation. You're bigger than that. And I think this is something like a portal. I will say this self-compassion can open a portal for cleaning, open portal also for understanding and for transmuting the whole vibration without
Yeah.
force, without putting it forcefully.
Yeah. You can call it a portal. You can call it a state of being. Everything grows from love and compassion because it's peaceful, it calms the nervous system. And when you understand how reality works, as Seth and Bashar teach it, everything comes over the nervous system. And Florence Scovel Shinn, maybe you've heard of her, maybe not. She wrote a book, The Game of Life. She wrote multiple books, and one of them is The Game of Life and How to Play It. And she speaks about how your ships come in over a calm sea, which actually means whatever you wish, whatever you desire, can only come to you when you are calm, when your nervous system, the sea, is calm. You don't get what you would like to create through stressing and panic and forcing and yelling and trying to pull and push. No, things happen when you are in a relaxed state of mind, when you're peaceful, when you are loving towards yourself and automatically loving to others. And yes, you can definitely materialize things in a stressful situation. My experience with myself and with others is it won't last long. And so that which you created will also break in an instant. So for lasting, lasting and fulfilling creations, it is paramount that you learn how to regulate your nervous system, which is, among others, through understanding and compassion for yourself.
Yeah, Victoria, Monique, I would like now to speak about your YouTube channel and the services you are offering, because
Hmm.
I think many of our listeners would also like to hear from you. What are you offering? If they would like to work with you, uh, yeah, which kind of services are you offering?
Hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting question because I don't work with a lot of people, and that has a reason because I'd like to give all of, or not all of my, but a lot of my energy. And working with someone takes time and energy, and I am creating a lot of different things at the moment. So, if you are serious about wanting to go deeper in how to create more wonderfully, more peacefully, in a lasting way, that you understand it and that you can embody it, because it's about embodying. It's not about, like, you can have the knowledge, but if you don't practice it, if you don't integrate it into your vibration, then not much will happen in the long run. So I do offer my Body Beautiful program, which you can find, like, I think you will share a link, right, in your description.
Of course.
And I don't, like, there are only a couple of people that I will work with at a time. And I also trust that whoever is ready and feels ready will we will work together. What is important, though, to know is that you need to have a base of understanding of this work, because I don't go into the basics. You need to have an understanding of the basics of how the reality creation works, because if you don't, we will be wasting time and you will be wasting money. So that's not what you want. If you have a basic understanding how reality works, which is your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs create everything that you see and you experience, and you know that, but you don't really know how to apply it, then we can work together. But if it's something that you still need convincing about, that this is how reality works, then we cannot work together. Then there's still some other work for you to do on your own. Um, yeah, and that's it for now. Like, the Body Beautiful is the only thing that I offer at the moment. I'm working myself on multiple other things, and I want my energy and my time for that. And also, when I work with someone, I want you to be successful, and I cannot guarantee you that if I work with a lot of people at the same time. So that's what I offer at this moment.
I can, everybody said, everybody who is listening, I get this. I took your services of 12 weeks and I was very impressed. And till today, I'm very thankful for this coaching I received from you. And it will be not the last time we work together, I'm sure. And I, on this, at that place in our conversation, I just want to say that you have again a YouTube channel where you're sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and your insights, and there will be a link in the description under the video. So please
Hmm.
subscribe if you like to know more what Victoria
Yeah.
Monique would like to share.
And
And
also,
yeah,
sorry that I don't post regularly. I only post when I feel inspired, and sometimes that is often, and sometimes it's quiet for a while. And I also invite everyone to follow their own rhythm, because I don't only teach it, I also live my own teachings, because I don't believe in forcing and pushing. I believe in doing things from inspired action. And also, you will see that on my channel. Sometimes there are a lot of videos in a row, and sometimes there's nothing in a while.
I'm I s- I would just would like to share something I like very much in your videos is when I watch them, I not only hear the wisdom you have to share, but it's very inspiring for me hearing your voice, hearing the way you explain what you're explaining. I'm also hearing or feeling the state of vibration from which you're sending your message. and it is for me also a reminder to see, oh, Victoria Monique is on this vibration channel. Oh, nice. It's feeling good. And yeah, I catch myself when from time to time that I said, okay, now it's time for another Victoria Monique video because I like the vibration from which you were sending the messages. And yeah, and the calmness, of course, the calmness in the way you are speaking. And yeah, Victoria, I'm not sure, do we have a little bit more time or should on this point?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would like to ask you, I would like to ask you, would you like to share some inspiring stories that you had during your journeys, or one story, if you would like, one inspiring story
Hmm.
from your fundus? Um,
Oh, yeah, I have a nice one. About the sales of my apartment, I think that's a nice one because that's one of the most recent ones and the bigger ones. A lot of things have happened and are happening in New Zealand, but they need a lot of backstory, so I don't really want to get into it now. Um, my apartment is wonderful. So I owned an apartment in Amsterdam for about 20 years. And at one point, I had finally come to the conclusion, because it was also a whole process that I allowed myself to go through. I want to sell it. I don't want to sell it. I want to sell it. I don't want to sell it. And I always follow my highest excitement without being attached to the outcome. And what I also do is I change my mind when I want to change my mind. And yes, everyone might think whatever they think about it, I don't care because it's my life, it's my vibration, and I am creating what I want. So I was finally at the point that I had decided I'm going to sell my apartment. And then I started thinking, who do I want to sell it to? And I thought I want to sell it to a couple that's in love with the apartment and with the neighborhood. I want to sell it at this particular price. And I want to sell it I think I also had a timeline, but the most important thing was that it was to a couple that was in love with the apartment and the neighborhood and at that price point. So I invited two real estate agents. The first real estate agent said, "Oh, no way. You will never get that price for your house because," and then he came with a bunch of reasons. And I thought, this is not my real estate person. Then the second person that came, I almost canceled because I was like, I felt a bit lazy. I didn't feel like I want to have a lot of people over the floor. And I felt a bit of resistance, but I decided otherwise when I heard the voice, when I called to cancel of the real estate agent. And I said, you know what? I'm sorry. Come by anyway. So it was a girl. She came by. She was younger. And when I saw her, I thought, I think this is her. So she made an estimation of the price of the apartment, and it was exactly the price that I had in my head. And the other real estate agent had said, no, that will never happen because blah, blah, blah. So, okay, I decided to work with her. We put the apartment on the market, and Amsterdam is in very high demand. And so what happened was very interesting because my apartment had a lot of viewers, but it didn't have a lot of offers. So at one point, there was one offer from a girl, a single girl, who lived somewhere close to where my apartment was as well. And she made an offer. And the interesting thing was that I thought, this is not what I wanted. But I was so happy that someone made an offer that I was willing to pretend that this was actually what I wanted. So I said yes to the offer. And what happened is she canceled, which makes sense because it was also not what I wanted. It was a bit lower than the initial price. But I was starting to feel uncomfortable around it. And I thought, maybe I should just take this. she canceled. It was a whole big drama within me because I knew that this was my creation. I just didn't really understand why I created it this way. So there was a lot of inner turmoil going on. We continued with advertising the place and again, a lot of viewers. And then something changed in the regulations in Amsterdam, which meant that all of a sudden there was a flood of apartments on the Amsterdam market, meaning I had a lot more competition. And while at first I thought, what's happening? I immediately knew that this was for something. I just didn't know what. And I decided to just trust. I thought, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to trust this. I was a bit annoyed, I have to be honest. And I allowed the annoyance to, and I trusted it. I decided to ask for to borrow some money because in the meantime I had been doing all of these things that I wanted to do, courses that were like of high like big amounts to invest into these courses. And the amazing thing that happened was the moment that I decided to invest in one of the most expensive courses that I have invested in to date, something shifted, like literally in my vibration. I could feel something opening up. I was super scared, and I did it anyway because I always follow my highest excitement. Even though I don't always understand it, I know that my body knows and my mind doesn't. So I did it. And in that week, on a Thursday, I said to my real estate agent, I said, maybe we should change the price because no one had made an offer anymore since that girl. A lot of people had been coming to the house. No one had made an offer anymore. She didn't respond, and I decided I'm going to go off social media. I'm going to go off all modes of communication, and I'm going into silence. And that day, and I saw it the next day, my real estate agent had called me to say there has been an offer. And it was exactly the price that I wanted. It was to a couple that was really in love with each other, with the apartment and with the neighborhood. And they own the apartment now. And for me, this is such a beautiful testament to I already knew then, like the apartment spoke to me. I asked it, what owners would you like? So it's a co-creation between me and the apartment and obviously the couple because they were also involved and the real estate agent. So all the higher selves of all the parties and the consciousness of the apartment and the consciousness of the neighborhood, everything is involved. And I got a bit fearful at one point, and I thought, maybe I should go with that, the easy way. And again, I was proven that it's all about having the patience, having the ease, because I kept doing my things. At one point, I was like, I want to do this course. No, I don't have this money now because I haven't sold my apartment yet. And this was like a substantial amount. And I decided to do it anyway, and everything opened. And so I love this story for multiple reasons. And one of them is that it turned out exactly the way that I had wished for, even to the final amount of what they offered the apartment, which was the exact amount that I had in my head and that the real estate agent had said. So
Lovingly
that's the story.
story. Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for sharing. You had
you're welcome.
you had also some more stories in your YouTube channel.
I
Today
have a lot of
watched,
stories. Yeah.
yeah, you had more stories in your YouTube channel. Today I watched the video where you're speaking about your nose ring. Amazing story about materialization. And but the people who wants to know more about this story, they can visit your YouTube channel. Yeah,
they can.
Victoria, Monique, amazing story. And I think in this story about the selling of your apartment, there are many points that everybody, I think, can understand. Also, your frustration. But the good thing of the story is the way you also reacted, like going into the silence, allowing, I think also having compassion with your own frustration. And yeah, many points. And then, like you
Yeah,
said, the pain, the patience, staying on the vibration that what you want is this amount of money. And I was
yeah.
thinking how lovely it was that you asked the apartment what kind of people the apartment would like to have in inside itself.
Hmm.
What an amazing intuition to ask the apartment. I like it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've lived there with so much pleasure and it was my safe haven. And so I wanted to be a co-creation. And that's also what I believe anyone looking for a house or for somewhere to live. It's a co-creation between the person that is looking for something and the people that are offering it, but also the space itself, because everything has and is consciousness. Everything is made out of the same thing. It's a different density, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have some kind of a consciousness and a wish. So yeah, it's I'm happy that you picked up on that. And really, as I said before, it is really important that we allow ourselves to have all the emotions because I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. The difference between me and the next person is maybe that I have compassion for all of it and I allow all of it, but it doesn't mean that I don't have frustration or anger or sadness. I have all of it. I just don't hang out there and I find out what the lesson is. I integrate the lesson and I move on.
I had to laugh when you said about speaking to the apartment because I speak to my car. I every time
Yeah.
I'm finishing
Mhm.
a ride, I say thank you, car, for your good driving, for your good riding. I'm
Yeah.
saying I cannot. I just have to tell everybody when I go in the morning in my car. With my daughter, we are driving to the kindergarten. I every single morning say good morning, car. And I know that for me, everything has consciousness. It's a different way of vibration, but everything, every single atom has a God consciousness. And I'm sure that every single thing has in some way its own consciousness, and they know that when you're speaking to these things, they feel the recognition that with or the thankfulness. And I say thank
Yeah.
you to my bike, and I speak also to my motorbike, and yeah, and it is the same like you speaking to a cat or to dog. Uh, just because they have eyes, ears, and can walk, and you can see, okay, they're alive, doesn't mean that apartment or house or a guitar or a car does not have a self-consciousness or a consciousness. So
Exactly. Yeah. Everything wants to be loved. That's what I always say. Everything wants to be loved and everything wants to be appreciated.
exactly. And I read somewhere that some guy find out if he's angry at his car, it start going much often broken. And
Yeah.
it took him a long time to understand, no, he has to be lovely to and
Yeah.
thankful to the car. And then the car does not went that often broken. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dear
exactly.
Victoria, Monique, I think this is a good time to say goodbye to our audience. I thank you very much for your time, for your sharings.
Mm.
There is much, much more you share in your YouTube channel, and everybody who feels connected to what you're saying and feels that they maybe would like to have sessions with you, they can check your website. Links are
Yeah.
in the descriptions. And
Yeah.
I'm very happy that we have this. yeah, this talk together. Maybe we can do it another time also. And I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much being here.
Thank you very much for asking me, and thank you everyone for watching. And if you have questions, you can also send them. I don't know what Nick studies. Maybe you can put my email also in the
Of course.
description. If they have some questions, then I will do my best to answer them for you. And yeah, I wish you a beautiful life experience, and who knows, maybe we will meet.